I'm live now. Hey, my legion, how y'all doing today? I got a great avatar because another shark movie review. I think early on, I made something to eat because I was hungry. I was a couple of minutes late. Um, I think what happened was when I first started my channel, I've always loved shark movies, right? And then the shark movies things were always like kind of weird. During like the 80s and stuff, it was Jaws. And they had some Jaws clones and stuff like that too. I think what really happened was I remember this one Friday, he was after Jaws for the Revenge, which I like that movie. So the movie came out 97, 98, 99 called Deep Blue Sea, and directed by one of my favorite directors of all time, Rennie Harlan. And from that, I remember that night. I saw it in the afternoon with my dad. It was a Friday or Saturday. The Saturday night or Friday night? Saturday night, Friday night. It was on Cinemax. They had the very first Shark Attack movie with Casper Van Dien and Lawrence Fishburne in it. It's kind of ironic because Deep Blue Sea had Samuel L. Jackson. Samuel L. Jackson and Lawrence Fishburne are always kind of like rivals, I guess. And he was in that one. And then started seeing a lot more shark movies come out because of that. Because the shark movie thing kind of died out, kind of. And then I started my channel. I think 2013 or 2014, Sharknado came out. And Sharknado was such a hit. It broke off records on Twitter and stuff. Yeah, I had to, I'd see it and do a video. But the review did pretty good, back when my channel was still in its infancy, And I remember doing Ghost Shark, and that did pretty good. And then from then on, there was before that, before my I had my channel, there was what's that? They saw them were doing movies like Giant Shark versus Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus. And there's a scene where a shark jumps up in the air and takes a plane out. And that's so goddamn stupid. And I mean, that's when those movies took off. And then Sharknado really cemented it. I mean, for better or for worse. Because Rose Sharknado was pretty straightforward. They didn't infuse a lot of comedy like the other ones did. This is from my nose. I mean, they had that guy from I can't remember that 919 or 210, that one guy. I can't remember the name of the first one. He's been in all of them. I think Terry Reid was in it, but after that, they had a bunch of star-studded people and people making big cameos in the movie. I was shocked to see. The biggest shock was probably see Ann Coulter in part 3. She was riding a shark down a thing of stairs. I didn't think she had a sense of humor at all. Anyways, so the whole big wave of crazy shark movies, and then super low budget independent ones like Jurassic Shark, Shark Exorcist, and stuff like that for maybe for a few $1,000s. And one of my favorite ones, the bad CGI sharks. It's cool whenever I review a movie and someone in a production company or someone who is the writer of the movie or director of the movie will comment. And I remember famous story. There was a movie called Bad CGI Sharks. I think they reached out to me when I was doing a whole bunch of shark movies, like Nightmare Shark and stuff. And it was like a Nightmare on Elm Street type version of sharks. I think they reached out to me in that video or something. I remember looking at their channel and seeing a movie called Bad CGI Sharks. I really want to see that. And a few years later, I never knew what to find the movie. I didn't know if it came out or whatever, and I saw it on Tubi, and oh, cool, I got to see it on Tubi. And I remember reviewing, because they reached out to me whenever I was doing one thing, and they'd say, hey, check out our new movie. Guy was doing reviews, and I reviewed that eventually on Tubi. And it's a really funny, very creative movie. It's not just sharks and stuff, but other stuff. Really worth watching. It's a little bit, but for its creative aspect, for its comedy, for its humor, it's wonderful. I think the budget's like $5,000. It said on IMDb International Movie Database. He said the budget was $5,000. I was like, okay, cool. I mentioned, and then I mentioned it before in other panels and stuff. They commented back and said, yeah, thank you very much for the review. We really liked it. Great thing. It said yeah, you're right about the budget being $5,000. And it said it would have been like $2,500, but we like extra pepperoni on our pizzas. That was wonderful. I love that. Love that comment. Anyways, whenever the Sharknado thing was going good, they were doing one a year. And then they did part 6. Part 6 was the last one. Then when that ended, they were trying to get, I think Asylum was trying to get back to what they were doing with other shark movies. I think almost all of them sucked really bad. They sucked. It was boring as hell. I don't mind cheesy shark movies, but when they're boring, they're boring. When they're boring, it's bad. And they did stuff like SOS Shark Island and Swim with Joey Lawrence. Whoa! Stuff like that was boring. And even that sequel to Megalodon, because they did a Megalodon one, they did a sequel to it, and even that wasn't very good. It seemed like they ran out of money, and it was only okay. And then I think they started going back to making bigger budget movies that played the theater. Like Saban, I remember because John was talking about Saban. He remember Saban being people behind Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. That's what I remember. And then they started releasing other movies and stuff. And they released some shark movies. I remember they had oh God. They had the Requiem with his French for Sharks. I had that one. I remember that. Alicia Silver. Oh, they had Man Eater. And it had Trace Atkins in it. And usually some of these movies, the main thing that stands out is the actor in the movie. Whether it be Trace Atkins. I told Pandora about that movie. She liked it. Whether it be Trace Atkins or Alicia Silverstone from the Requiem. People hate that movie, but that's the one I remember. And then there were other ones that were a disaster movie. This plane crashed in the ocean called No Way Up. And they had a shark. That was really good. I like that one. Anyways, and then they had a movie called on Hulu called From the Depths. I saw a week or two ago. And the main gimmick to that was Richard Dreyfuss was in. That was the biggest one. Almost 50 years, 50 years now that Jaws was released. Jaws was the best shark movie of all time. And it was cool seeing Richard Dreyfuss in that one. And that was the first shark movie he's been in 50 years, except for narrating some for Shark Week. And the weird thing was, he played one character, and at the very end, they have, the music, I have, a screen with him on there. And he said, hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is Richard Dreyfuss. And he would talk about shark conservation, saying how, they're strip mining the sharks, and they're creating a very few extinct species, because it's just with shark fin soup, they catch a shark, cut the fin off, and then throw it away in the water to die. And he was doing, because that was a big deal right there. That was a big draw for that one. Anyways, this one from a different company. It wasn't Saban. This is RFGE Films or something like that. And this is the very last film that Julian Sands ever made, sadly. And then I guess he died. He was in the mountains or something like that, the San Marina or something like that mountains. I had that up there, but I don't think I have it now. Oh no, the San Gabriel Mountains. San Gabriel. Okay, I gotta ask a certain person. That's the place you went to. San Gabriel Mountains. Yeah, he was. Yeah, he's found dead there. I mean, I don't know. There was a mysterious way the whole thing went. Was mysterious, but it was the last movie he made, and then they waited like a year and a half to release it. I'm eating something. And the craziest thing is, like with I don't know the budget for this movie, but I know budget for like that Last Breath with Richard Dreyfuss was like $3 million. And then only end up making the box like $89,000. Like, how are they gonna get their money back on it? How can they afford to do those movies? It's awfully tough to take a loss on a movie. You know? And I don't know. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know how you can afford to do that. And this one right here, The Last Breath, and there's a couple other movies called The Last Breath. There's a movie made a year later with Woody Harrelson there called Last Breath, which I want to see. And it's just weird though because I don't know what the budget for this movie was, but it only made like $283,000 worldwide, and that's it. I know it had been a couple million for this movie. It's just sad. It was Julian Sand's last movie. I don't know why they didn't give him top billing because they're here to Julian Sand, not those other people. I've been a huge Julian Sand fan for a long time. They should have gave him top billing. That's bullshit. You see. I'm going to look at that poster. Yeah, at the very end. Yeah, list of actors. Julian Sand's at the very end. Julian Sand should be have top billing in that. Anyways. Let me look at some. I've been a big Julian Sands fan of Julian Sands for a long time. I don't think I really knew who he was until Warlock, and Warlock was so heavily advertised on video that I think there was some something happened with New World Pictures and stuff, and then that movie just got shuffled around, just like that lousy Punisher movie that Dolph Lundgren did, you know? I'm trying to see some of his older stuff. There's other stuff I've seen before Warlock came out. Let's see. Wow. He did a lot of movies. But I loved I was saying Anne Rice wanted him to play Lestat in an Interview with a Vampire. But more marquee value was needed for the role, and the part went to Tom Cruise. Well, let's see what other movies I saw before he started in 82. before that what the hell was it? That Warlock movie. Oh, he's on Pirates on Parade. I hated that movie. A Married Man. Oh, he's in Oxford Blues. That's cool. Killing Field. That's cool. I didn't know about. I mean, because this is before I knew who he was. I didn't know who he was till Warlock. Like I said, before I went in the army, there was all these. Every time there was a movie, they had like a thing for Warlock coming out. You know, channel me a spirit, and it didn't come out. Didn't come out. Well, I didn't figure it ain't coming out. And I remember at Fort Bragg, I went to like this class, and they left early. They I think they shut down for whatever reason. I had a taxi take me back, and they was like, right. I said, drop me off to the movie theater. So the movie started like 7 or 7:30, and then thankfully it was Warlock. I was like, holy crap! Yeah, I want to see that. And I watched it. I really liked it. Let's see, Holy Experiment. Yeah, because I always did Gothic. Gothic was cool. Vibes. Well, Warlock was 1989. I love I'll tell you what, I love Warlock too. No one ever talks about Arachnophobia. I hated the third one because it would have had Julian Sands. I wasn't able to make it through that one. And he was in that great romantic comedy, Boxing Helena, because I remember Tanya and I were talking about, which was really funny. Anyways, that was his last movie. He was his death was really mysterious. He was in hiking in the woods, and he became missing. There's the San Gabriel Mountains, and then I think they found him right around that area, dead, sadly. Huge shock to everybody. And like I said, the last movie he did was Last Breath. And they waited a year and a half, and they released it at the theater, and that didn't do very well at all. So, I mean, I saw it on Hulu. And the thing with that one is, I like my shark movies. Basically, it's about they have a scene for World War II. I mean, a standard scene, not too fancy. About there's one ship, and they see the submarine. The submarine shoots this torpedo, blows the ship up. There's lots of fire and stuff. And see, like, and this is set in World War II, and you see like these two guys floating up on a little piece of wood or something like that, keeping them afloat. And all of a sudden, they get attacked by sharks. And it goes to present day. There's one guy, Noah was talking to Julian Sands. Julian Sands is like it looked different. He looked like an older, well, he's an old guy, but I don't know if he had like an accent. He had a different accent, stuff like that. So it was different for, not an English accent either. I don't know if it's Scottish or something like that. So I had to have the closed caption on. Now the thing is, like, they ran this little boating company where they do dives and stuff, scuba dives. They let this guy down, like his partner down, and he's going under there. And also, oh man, I see this ship, this sunken ship and stuff, warship, and it's been covered up by sand. All of a sudden, he saw it down there. He went up to tell the guy, and then he went down and to go in there for a little bit. He explored maybe like 40, 50, 60, 70 feet of it, and then he said, I better go back up. And he told him, yeah, the place looks pretty cool. It's under there. And he was saying, like, well, we should tell, like, I don't know who you tell, the Coast Guard or something like that they found that under there. And he said, well, how about this? Why don't we take some guys out there, and maybe we'll tell it later on or something like that. And maybe we'll have them dive or stuff. And just wait a while before we tell the authorities. And then they take these 2 girls and 2 guys out. And about money. And that one guy with the white blondish hair was a real asshole in the movie. Usually there's like an asshole, and then the other guy, the red hair, would just end up being really annoying and stupid. So I mean, he was like the Franklin of the group, I guess. Basically, you know, he was gonna. They told about that ship being down there, and then they said, "Well, we're gonna tell the authority. How about we go down there and we dive in there, and then later on, maybe the next day you can tell authorities." Because he wanted to pay him money. He said, "Nope, we're not doing it. It's dangerous. I'll pay you all this money." And I was like, "Nope, nope, nope. We'll just go do a regular dive or something like that." And one guy was ready to offer him $10,000. He still said no. And then I said, okay. And he just pretty much said, okay. And you see that night they're drinking and stuff. And the biggest thing with this is all the characters are boring except for Julian Sands. So it's really I started watching this back in November, and I just kind of like, about half hour, I kind of gave up on it. I just forgot about it because it wasn't that interesting. So I wouldn't watch it again on Hulu while watching it on Hulu. And I mean, if you get past the first 40 minutes or something like that, because the character's real boring, it's not too bad. And basically, like, you found that Julian Sands like in the hole for like $36,000. And then the guy's all messed up. And then the guy went up to that asshole guy and said, "Hey man, do you really want to go to that thing?" He said, Yeah. So I'll tell you what. I'll give you like a banana and a sandwich, and it said it's supposed to be close to $1,000, which is outrageous. And I said, okay, what do that? So I had to be there at 6:30. There are people are now already drinking and stuff. It's not a good idea if you have to go scuba diving. And so they go scuba diving the next day. Well, that's when like the Julian Sands admit to his partner that he's in the hole for like $36,000. And then the guy said $10,000. So that's probably 50,000. He asked for 50. He said, "If you want to go, we gotta go 50,000, but it's just me and you." I said, No. If I'm paying 50,000, I want everybody to go. He's like, "All right, made a mistake." And the next day, they all go out and they out diving. And then that one guy said, "You gotta be careful." Okay, just cowabunga. He dropped down in there. He didn't have his regulator on right, and he didn't have his flip-flop things on, his fins on. And that guy went over there and he gave him the right thing. He started yelling and saying, "What are you doing, dummy? Why are you doing that stuff?" And that was the guy that was ended up being like the Franklin character in the movie. But after that, they went underneath and they went in the ship. And it looked okay. I mean, one of the things that was messed up was with that branch wire I have, they usually have like some CGI or something like that on to make it look better. On not here on the floor, make it look better than what it really is. And I always liked it as a kid. I always liked brown wire. I think it's delicious. I love that stuff. So I hope you like this video, buddy. Till next time, please take care of allegiance. For me and my buddy John. Right? Okay. I'm getting tired already. So wrap this up and you ready to get some sleep? Maybe. No, what happened in the movie was forget I'm going live. They went and they went down if you like I said, if you get first 45 minutes with all those boring characters, then you're doing okay. And they go in there like that one girl whose scuba gear was compromised, right? I think he cut something, hooked it up and loaded up with oxygen, all up with air. He gave it back to her and said, okay. And then she said, "Oh, what are you doing here?" or something like that. I think they're trying to keep the bloody seeds or something, whatever like that, away from people. And they went down and started diving. And then everything was going okay. They were exploring everything, and all of a sudden, like this one guy was trying to be silly, and then he was being a real asshole. Though I mean, he was jumping at people, but not just himself. And from that, what he ate was that $2 hot dog from Surrey. That's a little bit too much meat. I don't know. Oh, Jesus Christ. I almost, oh, man, I almost saved it. Saved it from spilling my pop. I'm not, hey, Roski, how you doing, buddy? I saved myself from spilling my pop. I can't believe that bitch for doing that to me. And you said it seems typical. Cause I never had any problem with her at all. And she screwed me over. It was bullshit, man. Anyways, they go down. They start exploring the ship. And then none of them are taking anything seriously. And they said, like, whenever we get to 2/3 of a tank, let me know. We'll go back up. And they had, like, this big screen. They would pushing, like, breadcrumbs throughout the ship. Then all of a sudden, this kid would start partying. And all of a sudden, he got attacked by a shark. And then they had, like, this big surgery scene with trying to fix him. And there was a scene where, like, Dana a little bit had, like, some medicine. They said, okay, Dana, we need to use some of your medicine for these people, you know. And Danson was a pharmacist in this video, believe it or not. And gave that stuff to the guy, and the guy thought it was pretty good, you know. And like I said, they were underneath the ship, and they got attacked by a shark. And then pretty much it was just like a fight. Well, they tried to save that guy's leg, and then he ended up dying anyways. But he was annoying, so it didn't matter. And then what happened next was, oh, shit. I'm trying to think. Well, they're trying to get to the surface, right? And then you didn't see Julian saying that much. You see him in the first 40 minutes, and you see him, like, making a little Jamaican music, and then he has to save him, though, and I don't want to give away any more than that. I think Shark Night was pretty good. It was like a spinoff of, I think it was supposed to be probably that, one of those movies that Marvel, that they make that are like episodic. Damn it. They made some movie like that, but it's okay. No big deal. He did that, and then, the movie. He got to the surface. He got to the surface and stuff. And it, the movie, I mean, if you can get past the first 45 minutes, you're doing okay, because that's mostly all dialogue. I see just a little bit of a shark in the beginning, that was it. There's some gore in it, but I mean, just shark gore, like a leg gets bit off, or like something happens, someone's cut, and you see a bunch of blood in the water. Because blood's sharks are attracted to blood. And it's like they were chumming the water. Anyways, I thought the movie was all right. It wasn't really that boring. If you make past the first 40, 45 minutes, you should be okay. Cause that stuff was pretty bad, but that's okay. So I guess that's it, everybody. Hope you like this video, buddy. From Jason Callan, the host of the real original leader. There you go. Take care, Legion. Bye, Nana, honey. Nana's awesome. She really is. Exactly. Glad you're awesome. And then, like, Nikki's like, she showed my private messages, and I did a couple videos, and she said, yeah, you showed my favorite videos. I didn't do it to you. You showed my private fucking messages. And you said I was Two-Faced. You're the one that went up to another panel that the Bash fussed about me. And she said I'm Two-Faced. I mean, over nothing. It was really stupid. You take care too, buddy. But it was just messed up, man. And she was not well received over there, which is heartwarming for me. I said, like, she didn't know how good she had it over here. I was just nice to her. No, and she went to all these different conclusions. It was so stupid. It was like really, 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 really dumb. I got some more. Oh, cool. I love this bacon aioli. It's a little risky. That's what happened. Something really cool happened with Julian Sands towards the end, but I won't give away. About like the hour of the movie was like them going down the ship. And then eventually, halfway through, they run afoul of sharks and stuff. A bunch of killer sharks. I didn't think they were scary at all. Sometimes they look kind of real, and sometimes they look kind of fake. Mostly fake, though. Exactly. Ain't gonna happen, though. She's blocked, though. I love how she was treated over there. I think she was trying to get. I mean, it was like a hate stream towards me, right? I think she was trying to get them to all see like I'm this horrible guy. And they already know that stuff about me. I don't want you to say that was true, though. But the fact she put it up like private message was bullshit. But she got a lot of crap, though, which makes me happy. Now, the movie itself, I thought it was all right. It was like a mild 7 out of 10. It could have been better, though. But like I said, the first like 45 minutes is a slog because the characters aren't interesting. The only guy that's cool in there is Julian Sands. I should do a video like Reagan the Warlock movies. I'm a super user. Was there the third Warlock movie? I couldn't watch it all. It sucked so bad. Julian Sands wasn't even in that movie. I don't know if he could have saved it though, but it wasn't a good movie at all. The biggest thing with Nikki is it shows someone's private message, even if you're a little bit mad, then it's fucked up. And then, yes, she did. Yeah, PDX is cool as hell. I wish Noelle and them would have been out. She would have been on the same panel with Noelle was up there, but I mean, Noelle tried to go up there, but he didn't let her up. JB did, but that's up to them. I know those two don't get along. Exactly. PDX was pretty successful. Hi, Tasty Peanut. How are you? I'm so glad I made you a mod, Glass. You're pretty cool. Casey Peanut's pretty awesome too. I think your CGI is pretty cool. There's a lot of CGI stuff. I think it's pretty neat. I like it. I think like come to someone like that. I think they need someone like outside, like this really weird community of ours. Value or how she received another drama challenge. I was right about that. He's been kicked out of so many of them. I thought the movie Last Breath was okay. I never dropped a link, did I? Well, too late now. I'll probably fall asleep anyway. If I want to do a live stream about this, I'd say I give it a mild 7 out of 10. That was all right. Like I said, back in November, October, I gave up on it. That was just kind of boring. Because the character wasn't interesting except for Julian Sands. I was just interchangeable. Well, they had the annoying guy and the asshole. I mean, that you pretty much could tell. But definitely the asshole still I could have had like the blonde hair and stuff like that. Like the natural Bush Reed on WWE. So it's on Hulu right now. Last Breath. It was Julian Sands' final movie. Like I said, I give it like a mild 7 out of 10. It's an okay movie. The sharks look fake. There were a couple of scenes where they looked okay, but it was few and far between. One time the sharks, they weren't scary at all. As opposed to that one part that was supposed to be super scary, like a big reveal, like with Samuel Jackson, when the shark jumped up and bit him. That was a little bit different. But this one, they tried to do that in this one, it didn't work. It just looked silly. Oh my god. Hey, mama nose again. Sorry. I'll probably just go 40-40. I'll go another minute and I'll wrap it up. Like I said, I thought it was an okay movie. It's on Hulu. You could do like a thing of like Into the Depths and a double feature of that and Last Breath, maybe if you wanted to. I may throw in like the Requiem, which I thought was probably my favorite of those four, or Manhunter. I think Requiem was my favorite one because I thought it was interesting, that thing that was floating on the ocean, you know. I know. I know. Anyways, I think the movie's pretty decent. A movie like a 7 out of 10. Yeah, I guess that's it, everybody. I'll go 41. I want to thank everybody in the chat, like Glass and Tasty Peanut and Ruski. I want a whole lot of people in the chat, but it's like a Monday morning. I don't know. I got 4 people. That's good. Like it's on Hulu. From the Last Breath, and there's another Last Breath of Woody Harrelson that's supposed to be better. I might check that out too. I haven't seen a Woody Harrelson movie in a while. So that's it. I hope you liked this video, everybody. Live stream, everybody. Till next time, please. Take care, my legion. All right. All right. Good night, everybody. Good night.